special guest speaker from MetLife, and that's Nathan Flaw, who's our Regional Sales Vice President. We have some awesome stuff to talk about, especially closing out 2015 here with less than a month to go. We have some awesome sales programs, sales concepts. We have a kind of like a underwriting fire sale that we're going to go over that no other carrier has. So it's really, really cool. I'm going to let Nathan dive into that. I don't want to steal his thunder, but everybody today will walk away with a great sales idea and some great insight onto closing out some cases for the end of the year. And you'll also learn about some neat underwriting programs that is offered only through MetLife, even after the first of the year. So some great stuff to talk about. Take out a pen and paper, jot down any notes, questions, or comments that you might have. And then, of course, we can revisit after the call. We do have the line closed because the number of attendees. But just like always, call us, shoot us an email, whatever easier, and we will answer any questions that you might have. We're also going to send out an email with all of the brochures and all the material that we're going over today, just so you can kind of study everything and then see if you have any cases that fit into these sales ideas, concepts, underwriting programs that you can write this weekend or even tomorrow. So everybody will walk away with something. We're very excited about this program. We discussed this about a month ago with Nathan, and we said to Nathan, man, we would love to have a webinar and share some of these great sales ideas and programs with our agents. So that's how the whole thing came about, especially because one of the programs we're going to go over is only available till the end of the year. So we didn't want to wait any longer to share this with our field force. We're also going to give away a 16 gig tablet to the 100th registrant, perfect for the holidays. We will announce the winner at the end of today's call. So just about 30, 35 minutes, we'll announce the winner of the 16 gig tablet giveaway. So moving forward here, we're going to talk about some new additions that we have here at Levinson and Associates. And you know, if you've been working with us for a while now or you're new to the Levinson team, we don't just sit back on our laurels and just say, you know what, our iGenius platform is second to none, commissions, service, product is all top-notch. We know that we need more than that to offer to our field force and our agents and GAs. So we're constantly tilting the hat to see what's next, okay? What's coming next? How can we be innovative and be the first to offer our agents great programs, technology, tools? So basically, you know, we're looking at one direction, saying, hey, you know what, we need to conduct our day-to-day business and keep our agents happy. The other direction is constantly looking in the future, which brings me to our latest and greatest, the first ever exclusive Levinson E&O policy. So we actually worked with AIG and Aon to develop a Levinson E&O product that's only available to our agents. So if you want to build a hierarchy or bring in agents, this is a great way to create the sizzle, because the agent has to be appointed through us or under you to have access to the program. Nobody else can purchase this policy, period. $395 for $1 million of coverage. The best part is it covers any carriers that are rated B+ or better. So as you know, 99% of the E&O policies only cover A- or better. So especially in the annuity world, this is a huge plus. You know, you can sign up instantly on our website. You literally print your certificate. It's all done in minutes. So that's available now through CarrieLevinson.com. And again, use this to build the sizzle and recruit to your own hierarchy. Okay, it's just another one of those things that's only available through you or us, depending on your setup, or if you're a GA or MGA under Levinson. So make a note of that. Very important. We just rolled that out about 3 weeks ago. Okay, moving forward here, we're going to talk about our annual Agent Expo. So, like I said earlier, if you're new with us or you've been with us for a while now, you know we don't just sit back. We're constantly making everything that we offer bigger and better for our field force, and that includes the 2016 Annual Agent Expo that everybody should be part of. In fact, Nathan from Met will also be there presenting. We have all of our top core companies. Joe's going to dive into a little bit about the expo and how you can qualify for a weekend stay, round-trip airfare from anywhere in the country, and a free credit when you come down to South Florida. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, so as you can see from the screen here, the expo is actually Friday, April 8th, 2016. It is free for all agents to attend. We actually have the expo here in sunny South Florida, right on the beach. As you can see from the pictures in this slide, it is actually a beautiful beachfront resort. One great thing about the expo, like Bill mentioned, you actually walk away with a lot of great sales ideas, concepts. Like he mentioned, we do hear from a lot of our top carriers, top underwriters, with the focus on what products and what platforms and marketing ideas can you use leaving that expo the following day and being able to increase your sales for the rest of 2016. So it's definitely a day you do not want to miss. We actually have every year qualifications set up, so even if you're a local agent or you're from out of town, all business qualifies, whether you're writing annuities, long-term care, disability, critical illness, or life, or even a blend of all those different product types. You can qualify for a free night stay, like Bill mentioned, even round-trip airfare. Starting at just $15,000 of paid premium will actually get you one free night at the Oceanfront Resort, and then $40,000 of paid premium will get you round-trip airfare plus one free night stay. The third level is $50,000 in paid premium, which will get you round-trip airfare plus 2 free nights. We do have a dinner on Thursday night for all those agents that are staying over, but definitely a day you do not want to miss. I promise you, you'll walk away with some great sales ideas, great concepts. Again, that's April 8th, 2016. You can register right from CarrieLevinson.com.
Okay, thank you, Joe. I'm hoping to see everybody that's on this call at our Levinson Agent Expo. Okay, so I'm sure you've probably seen by now Insurance Newsnet magazine. We were actually on the cover in the October issue, and then the November issue once a year has the Tech Guide, which features all of the top IMOs or technology vendors and their latest and greatest technology. So we were featured in 2015, and we're very proud of this, as you can imagine. This talks all about the iGenius platform with our agents using the free websites, quoting engines for their clients, all the social media integration that we offer, and our brand new Levinson Agency Automator platform, okay, which basically takes everything behind the scenes, okay, and tracks everything, follows up for you, and I'll just give you a quick example without getting too technical. The way it works, okay, when everything is set up and running, which we will do everything for you, okay, and by the way, you'll see this launched in about, we should be up and running in about a week to 3 weeks, definitely by January of 16. And the way it works, it's so neat. The technology, okay, is running in the background 24/7. So once your website is up and running, okay, most of you should have your website up and running, a client goes in and they run let's say a term quote, okay, or they go into the, let's say, the disability calculator because they want to figure out how much disability insurance they need if something were to happen, right? So they put their information in, and then automatically the automator system tracks that client as a potential disability client, and then they're going to get emails and follow-ups from you that talks all about disability insurance, how important it is, different products, maybe a product just lowered their premium or they've added additional riders or an e-application. So they're going to get dripped on once a week or a few times a month for the next year or two, however you set up that campaign, until they buy a disability policy from you. Then the same thing would go for term, permanent insurance, long-term care. So it's going to do all of this and track all of your prospects without you doing anything. Okay? The goal is for, let's say, that same client that went in your website and they put in their information to get a disability benefit amount, the goal is to have that same person click the question button where it goes to you and you have an instant lead. You pick up the phone and sell them a disability policy. So just imagine if there's, hundreds or thousands of prospects going on your website, running different quotes, and everything is being tracked, and they're getting personalized emails from you at least once a month. So that's what the Agency Automator system is about. Definitely keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have a training webinar in the next few weeks to go over every single part of the tool, and we're going to make this very easy for all of our agents to understand. You have to remember that most industries right now, especially in the car, auto world, auto insurance world, okay, everybody is using systems like this. If you notice, let's say you're going on the internet and you looked at let's say a flat screen TV, okay, and then you go into, let's say your bank statement online. Next thing you know, you see these ads that pop up that have to do with flat screen TVs. That's because you're being tracked. So it's a similar mindset, but we're going to talk about insurance products to keep your name in front of these prospects. Very, very cool stuff. We're going to make it very easy for you, and every agent will need to have this up and running to grow in the future. Some other updates that we're very proud of, okay, we are working on as we speak our brand new CarrieLevinson.com website, which is going to be extremely state-of-the-art. Everything is single sign-on, so you'll put your password in one time. You'll have access to our new underwriting tools, e-applications, drop tickets, everything that you can imagine that you will need to conduct your business will be available on our new website. Totally revamped for 2016. That will be launching in January, in about 3 to 4 weeks here. We're very excited about that. And with the rollout of our new site is our brand new mobile app that you'll be able to go into any app store, iTunes, and download it for free. And just imagine, as cool as the website will be, everything will be available through our mobile app as well. So forget logging onto your desktop into CarrieLevinson.com. All you need is your smartphone, your iPad, or any smart device. You'll pull up the Levinson app, and everything is at your fingertips. You can literally underwrite someone, quote that person, sign them up with an e-app, all within 5 to 7 minutes without ever putting your phone down. So real neat stuff there. Okay, the ultimate door opener, number 3, is our University Plus Youth Life product. Okay, the premium start at just a few dollars a month. This is a no-brainer. It comes free with our 1 free year scholarship program. Okay, so it's a whole life plus the scholarship program. Every grandparent should have their grandchild enrolled in the Youth Life product. They have a fully client-driven e-application that was just approved in Florida. We're very excited about that. That's the University Plus. We call it the ultimate door opener. Number 4, just in, we had 3 more colleges just approved for our scholarship platform. We now have 349 colleges across the country that your clients can choose from to put their children or grandchildren in using the scholarship program. So that is hotter than ever, and we also have over 50 products now to choose from that qualify for the scholarship plan. Okay, I spoke about the Automator. Joe's going to go over it briefly because it's very, very important moving into the future for all agents to at least know the basics, and then we're going to introduce Nathan. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So I've actually got a screenshot of what the Automator looks like on the bottom of this page here, but obviously we'll have some more training webinars on it. But the neat thing about it is you can automate your entire pipeline of marketing channels. You can actually make sure, like Bill said, you're sending the right message the right way to the right type of client. Each client's different. They all like to be communicated in different ways. even multi-generational clients. There's some really neat things built into the platform. You're actually going to be able to build a sequence or a workflow to convert cold leads to hot ones and identify specifically what interests that one client. You can also deliver personalized content. So if someone is, let's say, being from South Florida, they're a big fan of fishing and they love that hobby, you can actually customize the email marketing campaigns around that concept. So you can be as specific as you want. You can set up automated reminders for birthdays, holidays, even conversion deadlines. So it's really going to help generate more sales down the road. Also, like Bill mentioned, it's going to track that client and let you know specifically what actions they take. And that's going to help you become more in touch with that client, which will generate into a better client-agent relationship. So kind of just the start of what we're going to be talking about in some upcoming calls, but definitely something that you want to look out for in the next coming weeks.
Okay, thanks, Joe. So without further ado, we're going to roll into the final presentation by Nathan Flaw, who's our MetLife VP. We're going to talk about the underwriting fire sale, some other neat programs, and a great sales concept that all agents can use in their day-to-day practice. Nathan, you there?
I am here. Thank you very much, Bill.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your time with me today, and what a perfect segue that is. It's really a privilege and a pleasure to work with Levinson Associates, especially because they're so far ahead of the game when it comes to trend-setting ideas, by every definition of the word. If we look at the insurance landscape today, unfortunately, the reality is it's pretty archaic. The industry is fairly antiquated. A lot of people would say it's even outdated. We realized this at MetLife. So we created processes and products for the modern day economy. Why isn't everybody selling life insurance? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's one word, and it starts with a U, and it ends with an underwriting. We have lab work. We have paramedical exams. We inconvenience our clients with an APS, which is where an insurance carrier demands that a client send every single piece of medical information to the carrier. I mean, how George Orwell of us is that? Now, once we're done inconveniencing the client, it's time to inconvenience the writing agent. We inundate you with pieces of paperwork after paperwork, stack after stack. If you could sit back in your chair for a minute and think about how many seconds a day you spend filling out paperwork, how many minutes a week, how many days last year do you think you gave up just filling out paperwork for an insurance carrier to review? Now, once you're done filling out all that paperwork and you submit it to the carrier, it takes us, according to LIMRA, 26 days on average to process and pay a policy, 26 days. Now, the worst part about this entire experience is that 26 days later, after you've sent that app into us, we send it back to you. You thought it was a preferred, and it's table B. And now you've invested all of that time, all of that capital into that client, and the case is not even going to get placed. At MetLife, we realize that this is no longer the way that insurance should be sold. We want to have this be a fun process again, a transactional one. Why should you sell life insurance with us? Well, we've gotten rid of lab work in our underwriting programs. We've gotten rid of paramedical exams. We have gotten rid of the burden of an APS, the intrusiveness of all of that. Now, that's for your client. What have we done for you? We have minimized paperwork. I mean, it's a liberating thing if you think about that. All of the time you spend on paperwork, we have actually minimized this process. 26 days is the current industry average to process and pay a case. We do it in under a week. The best part about all this is that we do it with underwriting class certainty. Now, this sounds pretty much too good to be true, but it's not. So game on, folks. Let's talk about it, and let me give you the details. A year ago, before I was a regional sales vice president, I was actually a senior product consultant, and I worked in our product development team. Now, truth be told, I'm a big Miami Heat fan. So I was sitting on my couch one night, and I hope you don't hold that against me, anybody who lives in New York. But I was sitting on my couch one night watching the Heat game, and on came a commercial. And it was the one where Walmart does the price matching, where I don't know if anybody's seen it, but if a client brings in a receipt to a Walmart will match the competitor's price. I sat back in my sofa and I thought, wow, that's a great idea. I hate Walmart, but that I have to give it to them. Brilliant. Then I thought about a statistic I'd read a few weeks earlier. The #1 goal of a client when they buy life insurance is to have the right amount of coverage. However, 40% of clients, according to LIMRA, are underinsured. So I thought, why don't we use this Walmart price matching deal to get everyone the right amount of insurance? I mean, when a client comes into the purchase, they want to have the right amount of insurance, but 40% of them are underinsured. Why don't we simplify the process? And that's exactly what we did. So I came up with something called Class Match. And that's where MetLife will match an in-force policy's underwriting class and face amount up to $1.5 million without any labs, without any paramedical exam, and without an APS. So what are the details? What are the caveats? That in-force policy that MetLife is going to match has to have been underwritten sometime in the past 5 years. So if you have a client who's had a policy underwritten in the past 5 years, and that client is between the ages of 18 to 65, MetLife will actually match that client's face amount up to $1.5 million and that client's underwriting class, as long as that in-force policy was issued standard smoker or better. And we will do so without labs, without a paramed, and without an APS. Now, because we're waiving labs, parameds, and APSs, we can actually process this business in 2 to 7 business days. 2 to 7 days. Now, this program is actually only available for the 4th quarter, and it's something that MetLife has teamed up with Levinson Associates to do. It expires at the end of the year, but because we can process the cases in 2 to 7 business days, we actually believe you can get a lot of business in the door. There's no reason to look outside of your current book of business for clients and prospects. They're all right there. Anyone who's had a policy issued in the past 5 years is eligible if they're 18 to 65. The next underwriting program I want to talk to you about is external term conversion. It's similar to Class Match. It states that if a client's had a policy issued in the past 5 years, and that's a term product, we will actually allow that client to convert to a permanent MetLife product. So a client has a term product issued by one of these carriers here that you can now see on my screen. We will allow them to convert that term to any permanent MetLife product. Now, oddly enough, these carriers that you see, this list of carriers, are the exact same carriers that we will allow Class Match to be used upon. So to touch back on Class Match, if your client has a policy issued by any one of these carriers on this screen, they can have a new policy issued by MetLife without any labs, paramed, or APS. And that policy that's issued by one of these eligible carriers can actually remain in force, and we can give them additive coverage with the MetLife policy. The third underwriting program I want to talk to you about today, we talked about Class Match. We talked about external term conversion. The third one, Enhanced Rate Plus. So none of the other programs required labs, paramed, or APS, and neither does Enhanced Rate Plus. The details to this program, your client does a 30-minute phone call with a trained MetLife associate. Based on that 30-minute phone call, if your client qualifies for standard, we're going to waive labs, we're going to waive parameds, we're going to waive the APS, and we're going to bump that client up from standard non-smoker to best class. So your client comes in at standard based on a 30-minute telephone call. We'll waive labs, waive paramed, waive APS, and issue the policy at best class. And again, because we're waiving all of those underwriting requirements, we can issue this policy in a week. In fact, as of a few weeks ago, 72% of clients who came in got best class and had a case issued in under 6 days. So we talked about a few underwriting programs that make your life way easier and also make your client's experience way superior. I'd now like to talk to you about some of your clients' fears. The two biggest fears of every client is college planning and retirement planning. So planning for children's college expenses, as well as supplemental income for retirement. I want to talk to you about the Enhanced Rate Plus underwriting program, how you can leverage that to ease your clients' fears. So what's keeping your clients awake at night? Well, we already discovered. A Gallup poll revealed college expenses and retirement savings are the number 1 and 2 problem in a client's mind at night. What we have here is a case study of a 35-year-old male. He's 35, so he qualifies for all of the underwriting programs that we already spoke about, meaning no labs, no paramed, no APS, and issued within a week. He's married. He has 2 children, a 4-year-old son and a beautiful baby girl. The household income for this client is $250,000. He wants both of his children to go to college, and he wants to pay for it. He's just not exactly sure how he'll do it. So here's a quick punch to the gut. The national average for tuition, $20,000 for in-state tuition. For a child to go to school, it's going to cost $20,000 if they go to a state school in-state. And projected tuition inflation is actually 3% based on historical averages. So what does this mean? This means that if this client, this 35-year-old male, wants to pay for his children's college tuition, by the time his newborn baby girl graduates 21 years from now, he'll have cut $269,000 worth of checks to the colleges. That is the future cost of all of the college tuition that he'll pay 2 decades later. What does that mean in present value? If he were to invest that today, if he were to cut a check, he would need 2% after-tax return on $217,000 worth of money. So he wants to cut a check today to plan for his kid's college tuition. That check needs to be for $217,000 and needs to grow at an after-tax rate of 2%. Now, this client makes $250,000 a year. His tax bracket is 35%. Let's look at an example. Let's look at another way that he can do this rather than cutting that large of a check. So after learning about the MetLife Enhanced Rate Plus program, you present it to your client, this 35-year-old male, and he decides he wants to go with it. He doesn't like needles. He doesn't like revealing all his medical information, so he's game. We get him in, and we get him a policy issued in a week. What he's going to do here is cut a check for $28,000 a year for 8 years. Now, that seems like a staggering number at first, but let's keep in mind this is approximately only 10% of his income. And that little over 10% of his income actually goes for his kid's college tuition and his retirement income. So he cuts a check for $28,000 for 8 years. What happens? That $269,000 that he needed to cut for his kid's college planning, all of that money is going to come from the policy. So if we look here, you can see that the client actually takes out $30,000 for his first stream of income. 7 years later, his final payment to the college tuition, $37,000. He was able to cover his children's entire college tuition with this whole life product. But what about retirement expenses? That's the other largest fear that you want to solve for your client. So we did college planning. What about retirement? Okay. I'd like for you just to see on this screen here that we're taking income from the policy. We're taking income in years 31, 32, 35, 39, and 48. And now I will show you what we're doing with this income. What you see on your screen is the actual retirement account for a client. The financial advisor suggests that the client at age 65 needs approximately $1 million at the beginning of that year in order to be able to retire and live the lifestyle that they want to live for the next 20 years. So this client followed the investment advisor's suggestions and has $1 million day one of retirement. Now they want to take out $60,000, which is about $40,000 after tax for the client. And they want to do that every year. So I'd like for you to turn your attention to the second to right far column where we have sample S&P 500 return. These are actual returns from the market from 1973 to 1993. Real returns, no manipulation here, actual market returns. So year one, our client's in retirement. He already paid for his kids' college tuition. He's a happy camper, time to live a good life. $60,000 comes out of this retirement account. Now, $1 million, we take that $60,000 out. This is math that even I can do. We have $940,000 left. That's after we've taken our retirement income for the year. Except the S&P has a down year the first year of our retirement. It's down almost 15%, leaving our end of year account balance, that far right number, of $802,000. So we lost approximately $198,000 that year from our retirement account just by taking out our $60,000. The next year, we start off with $802,000 at age 66. We take out our inflation-adjusted income there for our retirement, $61,000. The market actually has another down year, back-to-back down years in our retirement. This is all factual returns. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with nearly 45% portfolio depletion only 2 years into our retirement. There's a lot of other numbers on the screen. I'd like for you to turn your attention to the bottom right one, though. $1.2 million at age 85 is what we're left in our retirement account with. $1.2 million. This is without having life insurance in the portfolio. Now, what if we did incorporate life insurance into our portfolio? What would our returns look like? I would never suggest that we use life insurance as a sole retirement vehicle, but rather to use life insurance as a vehicle to hedge during down years of market returns. So if we use a non-correlated asset like whole life in our portfolio, it can actually help us manage our losses in down years. How are we doing that? Well, age 66, the client wants to take money out of the retirement account, except it's a down market. Instead of taking money out of an investment with a higher opportunity cost, like a stock, we're going to tap into our non-correlated asset, the cash value of our whole life policy here, and take money out of the policy rather than the portfolio because it's a down market. So whenever there's a down market, we're tapping into our safe investment, and I use the word investment in quotations. We tap into our safe investment here, our cash value life insurance policy, and we use that money during down markets. So we have the exact same sample S&P returns here for the course of 20 years. And instead of taking money out of the portfolio, we take it out of our life insurance product. We do this. I'd like for you to turn your attention to the number that just was highlighted on your screen, $4 million. On the previous slide, the client without life insurance had $1.2 million left in their portfolio at the age of 85. By tapping into a life insurance policy, by cutting 8 checks for $28,000 a year at age 35, this client is able to have over $4 million with the exact same market returns, the exact same year. $4 million as opposed to the previous slide, which was $1.2 million. So what did we accomplish with this sales strategy? Well, you have college expenses 100% covered. This is assuming no tuition and no financial aid, no scholarship. We have retirement savings completely hammered out, and we have $4 million of them at the age of 85. Really strong returns. And something we didn't even touch upon this entire time, we've added a layer of protection for our spouse, our beneficiary. $1.2 million without life insurance, $4 million by incorporating life insurance, and college tuition 100% paid for. To top it all off, we did this with the MetLife Enhanced Rate Plus program. We did this in 1 week for the client. The case was opened on a Monday, was closed on a Friday, in force, placed, and paid. So what I would do is I would like to challenge you to sit back and think about any case that you may have lost or may have gone a wrong way because of something like underwriting requirements, elongated processing time, or even a client getting a standard offer when they thought they should have been preferred. Because with the MetLife Enhanced Rate Plus program, we will issue standard policies at Elite. We will do it without labs, without Pyramid, without APS, and we will do it in 1 week for you. To top it all off, we'll make you a hero in your client's eyes because you'll have college expenses, retirement savings, and protection for their spouse taken care of. Thank you very much for the time, Bill and Joe. I appreciate it.
Yep, great job. We appreciate it, Nathan. Me and Joe even learned something today, so that was very beneficial. So like I said, we're going to send out an email to all participants that were on the call with some more information about these great programs from Met. So just before we go here, we're going to announce the 100th registrant tablet winner. And I just want to say one thing before we announce the winner is that, you know, it's so important, and I know I try to end most of the webinars with this, but it's just so crucial and important in today's times and moving forward, and I think Nathan will agree with us, but the industry is changing so fast, and, you know, they say it's like the way that things are changing now with new technology and everything going on around us, it's kind of like changing a flat tire on a car while the car is still moving forward. Okay, that's how we all need to look at, you know, embracing some of these new programs and carriers and technology that we offer. We all need to make the necessary changes to grow as agents and carriers and IMOs like Levinson and Associates. So it's just so important, and we're here to hold your hand every step of the way. So, you know, we don't want you to get intimidated by a new term or a new, let's say, new software that we launch or we're promoting. Just call us, and we will help you with whatever it is. And there's no question that maybe doesn't make sense or sounds stupid. We're here to help you, because when you succeed, we succeed. That's just the way that it works. So obviously it benefits everybody, and it's a win-win. So with that said, I want to congratulate Adam Y. Adam Y. You are the 100th registrant and the tablet winner. We'll mail that out as soon as tomorrow. Have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Thanks once again for taking the time and listening to us, and you'll receive an email with more information today. Have a great rest of the week, a great weekend. Good selling.